like a cool crowd, just judging about like how the show's going. I have actually performed for a lot of terrible crowds, and I know that that sounds jaded, you guys, but please understand, I have now performed a total of 7 times in Gaylord, Michigan. If you guys have never been to Gaylord, I'll explain it real quick. Basically, kids growing up in Gaylord only have 2 dreams, right? They either want to become a truck driver or the Grand Wizard. That's it. I'll put it this way, there are more black teeth than people in that town. It is not my favorite, okay? Fuck Gaylord, Michigan. I don't like what's going on in the country right now, you guys. Like, I'll tell you, as far as violent and hateful protests go, I gotta rate Charlottesville just 1 out of 5 Confederate flags. It was a bad time, alright? Bad time for everybody. But I'll tell you what I learned from Charlottesville. What I learned is that the Nazis who are crazy enough to actually get Nazi tattoos never have good quality Nazi tattoos. Have you ever seen a swastika tattoo and been like, I don't like what that stands for, but that line work is impeccable. What talented piece of shit did this tattoo? So symmetrical. I think the reason their tattoos always suck, though, is because the only people willing to do those types of tattoos are other neo-Nazis, right? And those guys have to follow in Hitler's every footstep, which does include being a shitty artist. No, some racist guy gets done doing your tattoo, he's like, sorry I messed up your tattoo, man. My hand started shaking uncontrollably when I remembered that Jews control the banks. I went from Michelangelo to Michael J. Fox in 2 seconds. I am sorry. But to be fair, the lighting in this shed is god-awful. And even though it looks like you just got tattooed by a racist toddler, you still owe me $30, buddy. How would you like to pay, cash or meth? Prefer meth. So as you guys can tell, I judge people a lot. Don't think I'm an asshole though, because everybody judges everybody, right? Like, I've only been up here for like a couple minutes, and I guarantee at least 10 of you in your heads have been like, this kid's got fucking stupid glasses. No, seriously, fuck this kid's glasses. Why do they magnify his eyes in that weird way? He looks like the world's tallest Komodo dragon. Of course you hate Gaylord, Jake. You can probably fucking see it from here. Hey, Jake, maybe later you can go stand in the sun and destroy a couple anthills. Just terrorize an entire species with your terrible eyesight. Who are you to judge anybody, you 4-eyed piece of shit? You're disabled. So yeah, I think judgment is a good thing, you know? Most of the time when I'm judging people, it's because I'm watching them on television, right? I think the worst thing I ever saw on TV was this lady on My Strange Addiction who was apparently addicted to eating her husband's ashes. And when you see that, it really makes you appreciate the people who are just eating their couch cushions. I'd rather much hang out with one of those guys than this fucking psycho. And the way she would do it was equally disgusting. She would submerge her fingers, scoop, and then which for me has really ruined Wonka Fun Dip. Can't eat it anymore. I think if I could ask that lady on My Strange Addiction just one question though, that question would be, what are you going to do when you run out? It's an addiction, right? Like, is that when you just step back into the dating game? Because I would love to read that eHarmony profile. Yeah, I'd like a guy with kind eyes and a nice smile, preferably a terminal illness. And then once you die, I'm going to convince your family to have you cremated so I can eat your remains. Hashtag no short guys, ha 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 ha. Trying to make this urn last. Sorry, my humor's a little dark. I apologize.
Okay.
Cool. I like this guy's support. I appreciate that. That's the worst thing I ever saw on TV, dude. Do you want to hear the best thing I ever saw on TV?
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember this. A few years ago, Febreze were airing these commercials where they would blindfold people and then put them in a room full of garbage sprayed with Febreze. Now, I love those commercials, but at the same time, they sort of terrified me because I'm pretty sure late at night, hoarders were jerking off to them, okay? That's hoarder porn, that's what that is. It's just some lonely guy who can't throw anything away. He's like, whoa, man, you mean to tell me that my entire house can smell like lavender? And I don't even have to bury my cats? What? Thank you, Febreze. You just saved my house from being condemned. No, for years my neighbors were complaining about the awful odor. Now whenever they walk by, they just think they're in a springtime meadow. Thank you, Febreze. So, I am scared of technology. Terrified of it. I was reading that scientists have recently developed an artificial intelligence that can tell if a person is gay just by looking at their face. My question is why? Why are scientists modeling their technology after my high school bullies? Apparently that's all it took for Chad to know. He just decided my sexuality for me. What was I going to say about that? Shit, I don't remember. No, that is really only a technology that I think men would only invent. Like, I think you can tell exactly how male-dominated the field of science is because every year a new article comes out explaining how great cum is for women. Every year, without fail, it's like, rub it in your skin like lotion. It'll cure your eczema. Oh, are we taking science advice from the Wu-Tang Clan now? Mix it in with your shampoo. It'll neutralize the chemicals. Will it really, or are you just trying to make your cum reach as many human targets as possible? Sounds like a cum-spiracy to me. Here's how gross scientists are. Scientists are so disgusting that, like, conspiracy theorists, which I am not one because I enjoy fucking people, but conspiracy theorists, real hardcore conspiracy theorists believe that scientists have this machine that controls the weather. But I don't believe that at all, because if they did, scientists would just make it rain cum. Like, that would be the new natural disaster, okay? Like, this just in on CNN, the streets of New Orleans are flooded with cum. Many tried to evacuate, but for thousands it was too early, and for thousands of others, too late. I got those backwards, I think. Alright guys, I really don't have an ending for that joke, and I'm not sure how to, like, segue out of all this cum talk right now, so let's just wipe ourselves off and move on, okay?
Oh, come on.
I'll get out of here. Oh, come on what? Come on, oh, come on you? Is that what you're saying, lady? You know what my favorite part about that was? Is like, she immediately realized her mistake. She was like, oh shit. Oh no, I really set myself up for failure on this one. This kid thinks he can come on me later. I should leave, right? I'm gonna get out of here on this, you guys. What I want to tell you guys real quick. Sorry, I'm working on some new jokes. My memory is kind of shitty. Oh yeah. So I had a really fun childhood growing up, and by that I mean my dad did used to smoke crack. Everybody. Look how sad you guys just got. I hate telling people that because they always get really sad, and my response to that is always, really? That's sad? How many of your fathers always had the time and energy to play catch with you? Turns out my dad was on the right drug to still be a decent parent, okay? I'm telling you guys, you all owe it to yourselves at some point to go out, find a crackhead, ask them to play tag with you. If they refuse, just show them that you do have $1, okay? Because, let me tell you guys, tag with a crackhead is so much fun as long as you're cool with always being it. They're quick, very fast people. All right, I'm Jake Ford, everybody. Have a good night.
I love it how when you reach a certain age, people applaud you for just showing up. Being my age is terrific. I'm 62, and actually, I'm still working. My vagina's retired. Well, it's earned it. It started working way below the legal minimum age. It's been working longer than I have. So dating when you're older is really an adventure. You know how hard it is to find a guy my age whose dick works and he can drive at night? And ladies, isn't first-time sex when you're older just so intimidating? It's like you're ripping off your clothes and at the same time you're apologizing for the carnage the poor bastard is about to witness. Ladies, never feel insecure about how you look naked. If he's gotten to that point, he's never disappointed when the clothes come off. He's in launch mode. He's ready to roll. After first-time sex with older men is even weirder. You know, you wake up and you roll over, and he's wearing a CPAP mask. I went to bed with Richard Gere. I woke up with Darth fucking Vader. Who's hoping to get lucky tonight? Everybody! Yeah. See, that means totally different things for men and women. See, for you, getting lucky is getting laid. Getting really lucky is waking up with her gone, no note, no name, no phone number, and she paid for her own Uber home. Am I right, guys? Oh, you can't laugh at that because you're out with a date. Is that right? That is so sweet. Pussies. So, my idea of getting lucky is screwing a heavy sleeper, lifting $100 from his wallet that he won't miss, grabbing the keys to his Lincoln on the way out the door, and leaving a note saying, "You insist that I take your car home. So sweet. Call in the morning and I'll bring it right back." No name, no phone number. Maybe just an initial to fuck him up, you know? Just an answer. In the morning he's like, "Oh, what was it? Sheila, Shelley, Shirley, big tits, where's my car?" So, my second husband, or second, what? I can't keep track of every goddamn thing. One of my ex-husbands, I married a Mexican. And breaking the news to his mother is a real experience. Mexican moms are so sweet, but they're tough, and those bitches will turn on a dime. It's like, "Mama, I'm marrying a white girl." "Mijo, a white? Why?" Does she likes to cook? Does she wants to have lots of babies? It's okay, mijo. It's okay. It's okay. If you love her, I love her. She's part of the family now. We all go see the priest. Then he drops the bomb. Mama, she's not Catholic. Ay, Dios mío! ¿Qué? No, es que tú hace coños en Dios! I don't speak Spanish, but I'm pretty sure godless cunt was the rap. So I finally got it right. A couple of years ago, I married a widower. Widowers are the best. They're broken in, well cared for by the previous owner. Just enough miles on them to work out the kinks. They're like the certified pre-owned luxury vehicle of husbands. There are 2 rules to marrying a widower, and these are important, ladies. Remember these as you get older. 1, find one who's old, rich, and has high blood pressure. That's a late life marriage trifecta right there. And a critical component of any sound financial plan. Number 2, never, 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 never say an unkind word about his blessed deceased wife. She was probably a saint and have some class. Because if you play your cards right, you're going to end up owning all that bitch's jewelry. I'm Sherry Savage, and you're a
You know, it took a while for me to really get the courage to come back on stage, and I was trying to figure out what the hell am I going to talk about. So I made the biggest mistake I could have done and watched old videos of myself. Now, here's the thing, just to explain to you folks what the hell's going on, okay? So, at about 40 pounds, maybe 45, I don't know. And, you know, no confidence. My hair was a lot shorter. I looked like I should deserve a job indoors. I looked like I was eating healthy, too healthy. You know, by healthy I mean dollar menu, get as much bang for your buck and fucking cheese covered anything, shit like that. And even during that time, 2 things. Watching those videos, I was like, fuck, I know the camera adds 15 pounds. But how many fucking cameras are on me right now when I'm watching this shit? What the fuck? So fat. So lonely. The only thing I miss about being fat, and yes, I can appreciate this, living in the Midwest, you know, over like about 18 months or so during my worst period of time and being the heaviest I had ever been, when I lost that weight, it got really fucking cold outside. One of the worst winters we had ever had. I remember driving one day, and the daytime temperature started at plus 11. By the end of my driving, it was at negative 11. And I was freezing my fucking former fat ass off. Because it was former fat ass at the time. I was like, fuck, I don't ever remember shivering this much. Why am I so cold? I'm wearing so many layers. Oh no, I'm not. I lost 40 pounds. Fuck. Because that counts as 2 layers, right? Literally counts as 2 layers. And even when I was that heavy, I had a friend of mine who, you know, he was divorced for a while, was, you know, still paying the alimony, counting down the days to when his youngest turned 18 so he could stop doing that shit and everything. And, you know, he must have been at a really low point too, not only because of his divorce, because he was shorter than me. But I remember we were hanging out, you know, we're smoking a little bit, having a few beers, trying to have a productive writing session or some shit, and just about ideas to bounce off the wall, like what do we want to do with our lives and whatever, which was a huge mistake because I didn't realize when the word "our" was involved, I didn't realize we were talking about like us collectively. I just meant like, what are we gonna do with ourselves? Like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? I thought separately, and he totally took that the wrong way. And I never saw this coming because the whole time I've known the guy for like 3 or 4 years, never suspected a thing. And without any type of like warning, he just kind of looks up at me all kind of confused and high, and like the most nonchalant thing, like, hey, you want to order a pizza? He was like, so you want to fool around? I'm sorry, what? I was really hoping, don't you want pizza? I want pizza. I was really hoping he was going to ask for pizza. Because when you smoke and drink and whatever, you just get hungry and you make all sorts of bad food decisions. This is another fucking human being. He is not on my menu. I don't want to make those kind of bad decisions, not like that. I will eat some shitty expired Taco Bell. Tacos all fucking day. But I am not in the mood for an old fucking raggedy ass wrinkly hot dog. How long has that shit been sitting in the water? Don't answer that question, goddammit, it's fucking hypothetical. I'm wondering, if I were to go have a 3-way with 2 women in Holland, does that count as a round of double dutch?
Yeah.
Totally up just now, I'm sorry. I think you're double dutch. I'm like, I gotta pretend like I know how to fucking jump rope or some shit. Gotta pretend. Use our fucking imaginations. Ah, man, this has been a lot of fun. You guys are great so far. I was really worried that you guys were gonna suck. I'm so glad that's not the case. Last night, I don't know if you guys heard about this. Obviously, I don't really get into a lot of political shit, but obviously the White House dinner happened last night. I was really proud that they had such a nice, friendly, welcoming venue that let any person of color use the bathroom at the White House. I was like, good job, White House, for once. Maybe Starbucks can fucking follow your lead. Might be able to learn something from our government. I don't give a shit. I love Bigby. Fuck that place. Yeah, Bigby, right? Yeah. Fuck Starbucks, right? Right. Fuck that Statue of Liberty wannabe whore of a label. Whatever the fuck she's supposed to be. I love Seattle, don't get me wrong, but fucking Starbucks ruined it for me. I blame Fraser Crane. I blame that motherfucker. Not even him flipping another Viper right now can pull them out of this shit. Right? He's just sitting there just like, I know a company in Seattle that tosses its own salad with rotten eggs. That's in conjunction with the fucking recall we had on eggs recently, folks. Or as I like to call it, the menopause of the egg production. Really? Menopause? That's where you draw the line? They're like, yeah, fat! Talk about being fat! Menopause, fuck you! Got real emotional, real quick. It's a hot button topic for you ladies, huh?
Hot flashes.
I understand, yes, that's the joke, man. My menopause translator, ladies and gentlemen. Holy shit. Oh my god, I recognize you from every other woman on Oprah. Fuck. Oh my god. You get a tampon, you get a tampon, you gotta wait again. Whatever that inaudible thing was that came from the other side. Oh man. So I've been working out quite a bit, obviously, because I apparently like freezing my ass off and having awkward moments with men that I think are twice my age and think they have a fucking chance. I don't fucking understand that. But the weird thing is about dating too is really confusing because when a girl first meets me, they can't really tell what the hell I am. They don't know like what I am or what I'm. I've got that called racially ambiguous look, except with this slight hint of Jesus, so people want to tell me everything without asking. They just see my face and they're like, a couple of things are like, bet he can help me build my deck. Or tell me about their worst personal fucking problems. Like I'm supposed to forgive them. Like, I can't help you, okay? And, no, seriously, I'm not helping you build that fucking deck. Like just... No, so seriously, but ladies have a hard time trying to, can figure out what all of this is. And so they look at me and they're like, they don't know if I can help them over the phone fix their computer. They don't know if I'm really good at like working on the lawn. They don't know if I like want to have 8 wives with a bunch of kids, or I want to have 8 kids with one lady, or that I worship a God that has enough arms to hold all those kids. Right? They don't know if I can make them food that's going to give them diarrhea, or if I'm going to make them food that gives them diarrhea. It's very confusing. So dates can be a little awkward. I'm like, all right, I like to throw a little bit of Latin flair out there. Yeah, so the dates, right? So, all right, so yeah, we'll go out, we'll do a little salsa dancing, a little salsa, because ladies like dancing. It's way more exciting than having to go see a movie or sit at dinner and constantly look awkward at each other, so you dance, you have a couple shots of tequila, because you know how that goes, 1 tequila, 2 tequila, 3 tequila, whore, right? So, what? That's not how it goes. Right? So you're dancing and you're drinking and now it's late, you gotta get out of the bar, you wanna get something to eat. So like, fuck, let's get some Taco Bell, because that's a good idea after drinking and dancing. Right? You gotta stay along with the theme, right? And then, it gets to that moment, you're hanging out, you're all alone. you know, and all of a sudden, like, she's tired or her stomach hurts or whatever. I'm like, you know, we went salsa dancing, we had dinner, we had all the tequila, we had fucking Taco Bell, and now all of a sudden you don't have any more room for a little more fucking Mexican in your mouth? It's bullshit. Bullshit.
I was visiting my grandmother, and we're really close, and she was acting kind of strange. And so I asked her what was up. I'm like, Grandma, are you okay? And she got really serious. And she said, sweetheart, honey, there's something I need to tell you, and I think you should sit down. So, of course, my mind goes to, like, worst case scenario, right? Like, she's sick, something happened to a family member, I don't know. So I sat down, and she took my hand, and she looked me in the eye, and she said something that you never want to hear a loved one say to you. My grandmother looked at me and she said, honey, my clitoris disappeared. Now, I don't know the socially appropriate response to that. Like, are we going to look for it? Should I make flyers? Put them up outside. Missing! Grandma's clitoris. Last seen on Woodward Avenue. Answers to the name Champ. Artist rendition included. Because I'm thorough, if nothing else. But we didn't even get to talk about the flyers because she kept talking about what was going on, much to my horror. She said, you know, I have this disease, it can hit women after menopause, and you really need to know about it because it's genetic. Yeah, that's what I said. And you know, she must have seen the look of horror on my face, which I don't know how you would have any other look. I was trying to conceal it, but it didn't really work. Because she tried to console me by saying the following sentence, but don't worry, it usually skips a generation. Yeah, you can laugh. I've come to terms with it. It's okay. You can laugh at that. Yeah, I know. You should feel bad for me a little bit. But yeah, so, you know, and I was thinking about it. I've had time to think about it, to process, you know, gone to therapy. I picture it to be a lot like Cinderella. Have you guys all seen Cinderella? Yeah, okay, good, you'll get this reference then. I picture it to be, it'll go down like this. It'll be the night before I hit menopause, right? I'll be out dancing with someone really attractive, like way out of my league. And then the clock will strike midnight. And the carriage will turn into a pumpkin. Do you know what I mean? And I will run away, but something will fall off and be left behind. Spoiler alert, it's not my shoe. Only the next day there will be no door-to-door fitting. All will be lost. Yeah, you sound horrified. That is the appropriate response. But yeah, I mean, there's a point to what I'm telling you right now. This isn't just for entertainment. I know I'm on a stage. It's like funny. But there is a point to the story. And that point is that I'm single. And in light of current events, I have recently lowered my standards. And there's not much time. I know you're thinking teenage runaway, but I'm in my 30s. Yeah. So, yeah, that's about it. Find me after the show. I'm Dia Russia. Thank you very much.